Hey, I'm Mark Romanak, and I'm staying in a CX23 FD4. It's a pontoon by Starcraft, and this particular Starcraft is all about water recreation and also the family that enjoys a little bit of fishing. Stick around because we're going to do a test ride video. The CX23 FD4 is 23 foot 10 inches down the center line and it has a beam of 102 inches. As is the case with a lot of these pontoon models, they're offered in a pontoon version or a tri-toon version. If you opt to go with the pontoon version here, you're looking at 150 horsepower rating. If you opt to go to the tri-toon, you can pony up all the way to 250 horses. Why don't we start our discussion here at the console, or what I call the Helm. This is set up very nicely for two purposes. It's set up for cruising and it's also set up for fishing. First thing that I notice when I look at a console like this is that all the important gauges, your tack, your speedometer, your trim gauges, all these types of things are right up front and you can see them. The steering wheel doesn't actually block your view of the gauges, so when you're running, you can actually see and monitor your gauges when you're actually on plane. That's a beautiful thing. And down below here, all of our toggle switches are really positive and easy to identify. You just set them on, turn them off as you need them, and they're right here also where you'll be able to operate these while you're on plane. So the way I look at this console is set up really nice. It's got some other special features. Of course, it's got an AM/FM radio. There's room up here if you want to mount a graph, and on this particular model, because it's a fishing and recreational boat, I'd recommend putting like a RAM mount up here and then some type of GPS sonar up there. If you take all those things into consideration, I'd say that this console is looking pretty darn good. And there's one more cool feature. It's got a sink up here, so if you need to do any kind of on the water cleanup, you've got a sink with a freshwater pump as well. So altogether, I'd say this console is pretty cool. If you're a fisherman, you're really going to like the back of this boat because it's set up very nicely for fishing. This little station that I'm standing next to has a lot of cool features that are going to be important to a serious fisherman. For example, you got these vertical rod racks here, so you can put 4 rods in here for when you're fishing or when you're traveling back and forth to your favorite fishing spots. Your rods are going to be safe and sound. There's also a live well here, and on top of the live well lid, they've even gone so far as to put a nice little tape measure in here so you can actually measure your catch before you drop it in the live well. All of those functions are very cool. We even got some other rod holders up here, like check this out. If you get into trolling, we got some flush mount rod holders here for trolling. So all in all, what we got back here is a great place to get your family started fishing. Let's talk about some of the other recreational boating features that are here at the back of the boat. Of course, we've got a tow bar here that's going to be really nice for things like tubing, pulling water skiers, that type of stuff is going to work out real well. There's a swim ladder back here, of course, which is going to be important for getting those folks back into the boat. And then this gate that I'm standing next to opens up and gives you free access back here to the swim platform and also the swim ladder. So you got lots of nice amenities back here for water recreation use. More great fishing amenities here at the back of the boat. There's 2 captain's chairs that are incredibly comfortable. Of course, they swivel so you can be pointing in any direction that you need to point to fish. I don't think it's going to get any better than this. This is a great place to relax, wet a line, and have yourself a good time on the water. On the port side of the boat, there's this wonderful lounge here. And not only is this a great place to just sit and relax and maybe have a cup of coffee, but it's also a great storage capacity area as well. So when I hop up here and open up this seat here, let me get a grip on it, slide it open, you can see that underneath here, there's a lot of storage, dry storage for things like bulky items, life jackets. I've got some tackle items in here, tackle bags, that type of stuff. So this is a great place to put all your stuff out of the way when you don't need it, and it's very functional for seating when you do. Hey, have you ever been on a boat and you needed a moment of privacy, maybe an opportunity to put on a pair of swim trunks or something like that? Well, I tell you what, the CX23 FD4 has got that going on. Check this out. When I open up this compartment here and bring this all the way up here, there's actually a canvas changing room included on this. So I'm not going to set up the canvas right now, but when you pop up the canvas, you got a nice little area of privacy, just perfect for putting on your swim trunks and not having to let everybody else watch. In front of the Helm, we got more great seating, and we also have more great storage here. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. All I have to do is just lift up on this and pull it out. And underneath here, we got waterproof storage. It's just a perfect place for putting things like tackle boxes like this and keeping them out of the way. Really nice here. They're all integrated, they're all sealed, and they're all waterproof, so you don't have to worry about your stuff getting wet. This is a great setup right here. Well, I'm up here on the bow now, and I tell you what, there's a lot of great fishing space up here, and these beautiful captain's chairs. You're not going to get a more comfortable place to fish. Of course, they're swiveled, so I can put myself in any position I need to. Got a table right here where I can keep my beverages or my tackle handy. I tell you what, there's a great room up here for 2 people to have a good time fishing, no matter what you're after. Bluegills, bass, you name it. Earlier, we talked about the vertical rod storage here at the back of the boat, and that's a cool thing. But also, there's additional rod storage in this model. On the captain's side of the boat, or the starboard side of the boat, when you open up this rod locker and drop it down, you can see that there's room in here for 3 additional rods to be stored. That's a cool thing. So all total, you can take 7 fishing poles on board at any given time. That's a lot of fishing poles for most people. I think that this is a really good setup. Great way to keep your gear stored, out of sight, out of mind. The CX23 FD4 is a great pontoon for family fishing or recreation use. If you want to learn more about this boat, check out starcraftmarine.com, or better yet, go to your local Starcraft dealer and check one out in person.